Well, telling the story of Maine through textiles. That's the focus of a new exhibit on display right now in Kennebunk.
Threads of Tradition at the Brickstore Museum showcases Mainers' ingenuity, resourcefulness, and artistry through the centuries. Here to tell us more is the museum's co-curator, Lisanne Miller. Thank you so much for being here on ARC Maine.
Oh, thank you, and thank you for having us.
Of course. So for those who don't know much about the Brickstore Museum, tell us what it's all about.
Sure. The Brickstore Museum is a museum located right on Main Street in Kennebunk, and it features mainly Maine type exhibits. There's two exhibits right now: political posters for the election and Threads of Tradition, which is what I co-curated. And the Threads of Tradition is the history of rug hooking in southern Maine. And we have a rich history. It started in the 1800s, and it started 20 miles from where the museum is in Biddeford.
I would love for you to hold this
Sure.
up. Speaking of that, I mean, how much work does it take to do something like this?
This is a smaller piece, a pillow piece. It's it's called hooking. I hook in a watercolor style, like a painterly style. This would be, if you are experienced, about 3 or 4 weeks to do. The wool is hand dyed, and the pattern is printed. My company is the largest pattern company in the world for rug hooking, and we're located in Wells. But we've been in Maine since 1879.
Wow.
And we started as a dye company. So it's painting with wool. It takes the place of latch hook when you were younger, and it's very therapeutic. There's no counting like cross stitch or anything like that. You just pull loops and let it evolve.
It does look like a painting.
Yeah.
I love the colors.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Can anybody do that?
Anybody
like I could
can.
learn how to do that.
You can learn how to do that. As a matter of fact, I have a class coming up that's all men.
All right, there you go. I'm going to write that
Write
down.
that on your calendar.
So how many different types of pieces will we see at the exhibit?
You're going to see in the first room, there's a lot of the history, and they are real artifacts. They are the real Edward Sands Frost patterns, the real cutters, how we used to buy it on a tin peddler's truck. Now you can come into a store and purchase it. So that is the first room, and there's a lot of rugs there that all came out of the history in southern Maine in homes. The second room takes it more modern, and that is honoring those that hook now. And there's an exhibit in the other room that is called By the Light of the Moon. And that is, I curated a show with artists from Canada and across the United States, and it's all about the moon for the eclipse.
Oh, great.
So you have the history, and then you have what it's evolved to.
Now, you said even I could do something like this.
You can do it without a problem.
Explain the process of rug hooking and how it began
Sure.
and why you think it's so easy for people to learn how to do it.
It is. It's a utilitarian craft. That's how it started. It was to put things on the floor, put things on the bed. Now it's evolved into an art form. So we have the pattern. You have the pattern printed on linen. We used to do it on burlap, but it rots. And this is wool, dyed wool that we do. And you cut it into strips. It's cut into, so we dissect the wool, then we pull loops, and this wool here is actually in this rug here. So you can see the wool does the work. You don't count, but you fill the space. And you use a hook that looks like a crochet hook, and that hasn't changed. In the exhibit, we have hand-forged fish hooks that the women used to use. So the process is exactly the same as the 1800s. You just pull loops. If you can hold a piece on the bottom and pull it on the top, I'll get you hooking, don't worry.
You'll get me hooked
I'll
up.
get you
and
hooked.
hooked up,
That's
right?
get you hooked up without a doubt.
And I'll get hooked.
That's right, you will.
So talk about the classes that you provide as well.
Yep, I teach, since COVID, we're a working studio, and we mainly do Zoom from all over the world. I Zoom 3 to 4 days a week. But I do teach, and I teach at different places in southern Maine. I will be teaching a workshop. You'll have to check the Brickstore Museum. I will be checking that, doing a class there, a beginner class, and we're going to make a dimensional pumpkin that you can sit out. Yes.
Oh, great.
And I love to teach. I love to teach. That's my main. I love to color plan and teach. So I teach in New Hampshire, I teach in Ohio, but mainly through Zoom since COVID.
I mean, you just don't want this to be a lost art,
No,
right?
no, it is regenerating, and it's regenerating not just with wool. They're hooking with fabric. We hook with yarn. We hook with raffia. We hook with all sorts of objects that are recyclable as well. And it is something that you can put down and pick up. You know, you don't lose your spot. And you don't have to have a lot of equipment. It's a hook, pattern, wool, and a hoop. That's it.
What inspires most of your designs?
I take a lot of photography. I draw a lot. I just love to draw. And the dyeing, we are the dye company that is in there. We are W. Cushing. Wainwright Cushing started it in 1879, and we still have the same dyes. And just to watch everything evolve into a pan come out, it's amazing.
I never knew who they are, but they say a necessity is the mother of invention. Do you think that applies to those who reimagined new uses for these old fabrics and textiles and things like that?
Yes. You know, everybody thinks that it was the women sitting at home by the whale oil lamp hooking. Men actually hooked quite a bit on the maritime ships as well. And so they did. We have rugs there that are clothing, you can tell, homespun. And in southern Maine, there were mills in Sanford and in North Berwick, and they would go and buy the wool ends. And I remember, I've been rug hooking since 1976, I remember going to them when they were still functional because you couldn't afford the wool, and you would just go buy it and then hand cut it with scissors.
What are you hoping people take away if they come to see the exhibit specifically?
To see what rich history Maine has. Maine has a rich history in the fiber arts, and also to get an appreciation of how far this fiber art has come. It is an art form now. When you can see something that looks just like it's painted, it takes a lot to create that. And I think it will inspire people to try it, I hope.
I mean, to be fair, lift this
Sure.
up again.
This is stunning.
The details of this is
and
just
I like the
amazing.
texture too.
Thank you.
And,
So
and
how
plus
do you
it's fall foliage too.
It is fall foliage, yeah. Yep.
How do you get the different textures?
Well, this is actually raffia.
Oh,
And
okay.
so by using mixed media, we call it, and yarns, but this is sculpted with sari silk from saris put in. Wow. So by using different techniques, then you can get that depth and see the depth. And as you can tell, it's not even. This is not to be walked on, although we do still hook rugs to walk on. And this was what the fabric looked like before it was sculpted.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'd never want to walk on that. I want to hang it on my wall,
Right,
right?
yeah, and that's what a lot of them are now. They're pillows, they're wall hangings, there's all sorts of different things that you can use them for. Table runners. So yes, we don't, and we don't do big pieces a lot of times. We'll do the smaller ones. Like this is a pillow.
Okay.
So that's a pillow, but you can also hang it. There's a thing to hang it with.
How long would that take?
For a newbie, probably about a month and a half.
Okay.
Somebody that's done it before, less than that.
Yeah.
So you have to have patience to do this?
No.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Good.
No. I'm not known for my patience, so no, not at all. Not at all.
Incredible.
You just have to like color.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you like color,
You like color?
Yeah.
You can be inspired by the fall foliage.
That's
Well,
right.
I'm
we're
inspired
seeing
by
right
both
now.
of these. I want to fall
Thank you.
asleep on this if that's a pillow.
It does
That's
look
right,
so
it is.
comfortable.
Yep, it does.
Very inviting and soothing to the eye.
And they'll last a long time. They're wool.
Perfect.
They don't, and they're on linen, so that'll be great.
And I know you say this is easy or doesn't, but that and maybe doesn't take a lot of talent because I can do it, but that is amazing.
Thank
to
you.
So
see that.
impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Thank you. And there's a lot more pieces at the museum to see. Some by myself, some by Joan Moshemer, who taught me, and some from all over the world. So you can see everybody's influences.
And where are you located so that people can come by?
We're located, W. Cushing is located in Wells, Maine on 9B. And then the Brickstore Museum, of course, is 117 Main Street. And I will be there October 26th, which is Saturday, from 11 to 3, demonstrating how to hook.
Perfect. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
There you go.
Hook me up.
That's right.
Real quick, website so people can find out about classes and everything?
Sure, wcushing.com for that, but also for the Brickstore Museum, because I will be doing an in-person lecture, 2 classes, a wool wreath, and then the dimensional pumpkin would be brickstoremuseum.org. O-R-G.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming by.
I appreciate it.
All right,
Wow.
men's
So
class.
great.
That's right. There you
Wells.
go.
All right.
We're going to get it for you. We'll get you on the calendar.